Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me. Wherever you are joining me, rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated, and if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you're joining me on Facebook, thank you. If you're joining me on Twitter, thank you. I really do appreciate the patronage. I really debated whether or not to do a show today. Not because for some reason I didn't want to talk to you guys or anything like that, but because I felt so conflicted. Last night was the first time that I can remember where I just shut my social media off. Just stopped. Didn't want to see anymore. Didn't want to hear what people had to say. I wasn't interested in takes. The same old takes. The same old agendas. The same old thought processes. Everybody liking what one person says, but nobody really doing anything. Obviously, we all know about the tragedy that happened down in Texas. It goes without saying that my heart goes out to all of those families who have had to deal with the loss. I echo all the sentiments of the people that say we should never bury our children, that our children should bury us. But man, like, it's hard to enjoy life while all of this stuff is going on around. It's hard to enjoy life when you know that there should be better out there. I teach. You all know this by now. If you don't, welcome. We had graduation this morning. So this morning I had to put a face on. I had to be in it because those young men, those young ladies, they deserved to be able to be celebrated without any type of conflict on their day. They've accomplished a great goal. And I'm tired of us minimizing stuff as if it's not a big deal. Graduating high school is a huge deal, a huge deal. And so I owed it to them to be turned up and to have fun with them and to smile and to be present in that moment. All of the players that I've coached, all of the students that I taught, I teach a senior level class. So a lot of the kids in there I've either had interactions with or I taught or I've coached. As the ceremony was going on and these young men and women were standing up and the applause began to crescendo, I couldn't help but feel this really weird, overwhelming, like, emotion. I couldn't figure out if it was emotion of pride watching these young men and women take the next step, or if it was sadness and despair because we were sending them out into a world where this stuff was going on, where people were being senselessly murdered. I didn't know if it was because I was thinking in my head that these young kids, these babies, will never get the opportunity to walk across that stage. They'll never get the opportunity to know what it's like to have that feeling that their moms and their dads will never know that feeling of watching their son or daughter walk across that stage and receive that really important accomplishment that everybody is entitled to in this country. Everybody has the opportunity to gain that. I didn't know if I was sad about that, or if I was sad about the fact that the people up in Buffalo who were senselessly murdered would never get the opportunity to celebrate their sons or their daughters' graduation. That some of them were this close. Some of them were right there, just a few days away, and they were senselessly murdered. And then I come on and I hear all the, oh, we've got to have like gun control. We've got to have gun control. It's all about guns. We got to get the guns off the street. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to break the news to you. I don't like guns. But this has nothing to do with the guns. And I'm tired of people using mental health as a weapon. I'm tired of people deciding that they want to stand on how can we help these individuals that are sick. Ladies and gentlemen, there is just evil in the world. There's evil in the world. It's not political. And every time we try to make any of this stuff political, we lose sight of right. So yes, should there be more stringent gun laws? Of course, because it's not political, it's just right. It's not political. It's just the right thing to do. Should we have opportunities for people to be checked for their mental health and wellness before we put a weapon in their hand? Yes. But why aren't we just checking for their mental health and wellness because ... Because it's not political, it's just right. And the fact that a lot of these things don't get done because they've been made to be political is why we suffer as a country. Oh my gosh, getting vaccinated, that's political. Even though we've been getting vaccinated for years for stuff we have no clue about. Oh yeah, the gun control is political. They just want to take our First Amendment, they want to take our freedoms away. No, we want to stop reading about people being killed on elementary schools. We want to stop hearing about people being killed in grocery stores. We want to stop hearing about young men who are stopped on routine stops murdering a cop. But we also want to stop hearing about cops randomly murdering people for no good reason. It's not political, it's just right. And if we have the opportunity to make right, why would we ever bring politics in it? Why would we ever bring race into it? It's just right. Why does a civil rights bill sit and wait for upwards of 30 years to be passed? And then an Asian hate bill come on and be passed like that? If you're going to pass an Asian hate bill, shouldn't you just then start passing bills that say that protect all nationalities, that protect all races, that protect all people, all religions? It's not political. It's not racial. It's just right. And while we're sitting back trying to find how we can make this into an agenda, or how we're trying to make this into a talking point, or how we can turn this into a platform to run on, we should be thinking about the people that it hurts, the people that are affected, the people that have to wake up today and decide, I'm going to go on with life because my life was just destroyed yesterday. My life was just destroyed a week ago. It was just destroyed 2 weeks ago. As someone who considers themselves a journalist, I know that tragedy sells, and I don't care. I don't want to talk about this stuff, but if we don't talk about it, then even more people stick their head in the sand. You think that the Texas government wants to deal with this? That's the biggest state for, hey, willy-nilly with the guns. You think they want to have it questioned that somebody was just rolling around with an automatic weapon and just mowing down people? No. You think they want to deal with the, hey, why does any private citizen need to own an automatic weapon? You think they want to deal with that? No. Because here comes the other side. You're taking away, and now it's political. And because it's political, people take their hands off of it. Because now it's a bargaining chip. Since when did human life become a bargaining chip? It's not political, it's just right. If you have the opportunity to make one person feel safer, shouldn't you take that opportunity? If you had an opportunity to make one person who didn't believe in you yesterday believe in you today, shouldn't you take that opportunity? What does it cost you? Is it money? Is it power? Is it respect? I've often heard people say things like, well, we fight this battle over here, or we let this one go because it allows us to do this, and then this starts the chain of it. Man, I'm so tired of that. That's that politician BS that keeps us in the situation that we're in. That's the type of stuff that keeps us from elevating to what we believe is the greatest country in the world, to what should be the greatest country in the world. We've got everything here except love and respect for ourselves. We have everything here except love, respect, and pride in the people who live here. And now we have this added extra layer of excuse making. This extra layer of, oh, well, what was his mental capacity? I'm sorry. If I sit down and I write out a manifesto that says, I'm going to one day be a millionaire, and then everything that I do is predicated on the manifesto that I wrote and to getting to that goal of being a millionaire, and then I become a millionaire. Does somebody say, man, his mental health must have been compromised because he was meticulous about all of this stuff when it came to being a millionaire? No, they say, look at his drive, look at his determination to do what he set out to do. And that's what we need to do with these terrorists. We got to stop giving them names. We got to stop romanticizing them. We got to call them what they are. They are terrorists. And we need to start monitoring and looking for these terrorists on our soil the same way that we monitor and look for terrorists around the globe who aren't even doing us harm. We have terrorists right now. There's someone in their room right now plotting against this country. They're plotting the next tragedy that's going to be all over the news. They're plotting the next series of 19 to 20 rest in pieces that we have to continually see and deal with and try to mourn and then heal from. They're plotting it right now because their goal is simple. It's evil. We don't have to put anything else to it because it should not be political. It's just right. It shouldn't be political, because when it's right, that's all that should matter. If I do something that is against the law, but I knew it was right, I would be 100% okay with accepting the consequences of my actions, even if that meant that I had to die and or go to jail. If I believed in my heart that it was right, then that's what I would do. So why are we trying to find excuses for these people who in their hearts, in their minds, they just thought, you know what, this evil that I'm doing is right? No, we just need to rid ourselves of the evil and put things in place that makes it harder, more difficult for the evil to be romanticized, for the evil to be put in positions of power, and then for the evil to get away with it. It's not political, ladies and gentlemen. It's just right. And until we start doing what's right instead of doing the politically correct thing to do, these tragedies will continue to happen and our hearts will continue to break. That's it. Period. End. I know what I'm going to do to continue to move things forward. I've got to talk and continue to talk to my young men and women about what's out there in this world and what they have to be afraid of. Isn't it crazy to you guys that there was more talk about Young Thug on a RICO case than it was about those people killed in Buffalo? Isn't it crazy that the Will Smith slap of Chris Rock lasted in the news cycle much longer than people being senselessly murdered? Why? I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. This is why it's not racial. Because there's been mass murders at predominantly white schools. And nothing's changed. See, Buffalo, oh, well, they targeted the black people. Yes, they did. It's awful. That person was awful. He should have never made it to jail. Should have been gunned down the same way that this man was gunned down in Texas. Should have never made it to the precinct. I don't care what transpired. But there's been mass murders at schools that were predominantly white. Columbine High School, I don't remember there being a ton of black people out there. School shooting in Florida, not a ton of black people. And nothing has still been done. So if you want to be somebody who is conspiracy theory against race, guess what? If they're not going to help and change the laws to protect their own, they're certainly not going to change the laws to protect us. So what must we do? We've got to educate. We've got to identify. We got to call people out. We can't do what's political. We have to do what's right. At all times, we can't do what's political. We have to do what's right. We can't say things or not say things because we're afraid how it might be perceived. If it's right, you need to say it and you need to stand in it. Because until we do that, we are opening the doors to this to happen, for this to happen again and again and again. And it is maddening for anybody out there who teaches, for people to believe that teachers should be trained to have weapons. You are bonkers. You know how stressful this job is? You talking about mental health? Yeah, I know somebody the other day said, "Oh, I don't know why teachers act like their jobs are so hard." Hey man, F you, buddy. I don't know what you do at your school. I don't know what you do on a regular basis, but my job is stressful. I love my job. I love it. That's why I've done it for so long. I love it. But that doesn't mean it's not stressful. Just like everybody else's job is stressful. But we're not mandating everybody else go out and be trained to hold weapons at their job, because that's asinine. If you're a teacher, you got to talk. And it used to be, man, high school. Then it was middle school. Now it's elementary school. You got to educate these kids early. If you're a parent, you can't stick your kid's head in the sand. You can't hide them in the house. You can't hide them at the private school that shelters them from the world, because the world is coming. And until we, as a collective, do something to change the world for the better, you have to prepare your sons, daughters, nieces, nephews, students for the world that we have right now. And it is ugly. It is beautiful. It's wonderful. It's fantastic, but it can be super ugly. We have to prepare them for that now. We can no longer say, well, these are just isolated incidents. It will never happen here. I'm pretty sure that's what they thought up in Buffalo. It would never happen here. I'm pretty sure that's what they thought down in Florida. I'm pretty sure when that young lady got the police bust through the door, shot up her place and killed her, I believe she thought she was good. We got to prepare, and we've got to be better. We've got to stop thinking political. We got to stop thinking racial, and we just got to start thinking right. Guess what, by the way? If we just think right, all of those other things play themselves out. I am 100% confident in that. Whether you agree or disagree, I don't give a damn. Whether you think I'm off base, cool. You get online, you start talking to people about what you think. But until we take the politics out of this, history is doomed to repeat itself. So you better prepare yourself accordingly. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, like, subscribe. Till next time, love each other. Peace.